Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of our live wrestling show here on the channel. We're going to talk about what?
Yeah.
Wait,
Wrestling talk. Wrestling talk. Wrestling.
And that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll be gonna interrupt my intro. Damn it. Yeah. Now I lost my train of thought. Thank you.
Wrestling. Yeah. Wrestling. Yeah.
Jackass. We're gonna give our thoughts of NXT, AEW, Raw, and maybe SmackDown from last. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll talk about that, and unfortunately, we'll have to talk about the show that happens for 3 hours on every single Monday. So, yay, fun.
Well, we can boil that down to quick points.
For sure. Since we haven't talked about SmackDown from last week, Matt, what were some general thoughts on the show there?
I gotta remember what happened.
Yeah. Well, we had Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens.
That's right.
And that whole story going on, which that was pretty good. I believe that we also had some other people added to the Survivor Series team, which I believe it was Baron Corbin. And there was someone else whose name escapes me right now. And unfortunately, that god awful storyline between Seth Rollins and the whole freaking Mysterio family.
Sasha Banks successfully defended her championship.
Which, by the way, that match was sensational. By the way, just Matt, would you agree with me that I feel like mainly on like Raw and SmackDown that between Sasha and Bayley, they're pretty much are carrying WWE's women's division right now?
I can't come up with a solid argument against it.
It's just like, man, like it, and then afterwards, obviously they're teasing Carmella versus Sasha. But I'm hoping that they go
something. Yeah. I mean, you got to move on to something else.
Yeah, true. But I'm hoping that they go and start a feud between like Bayley and Bianca Belair. I would really want to see that, so they can kind of bridge that like gap until they eventually get to Sasha versus Bianca at WrestleMania, which I definitely feel like that's probably what they are planning for, or that's my hope. Anyway, I'm assuming that you watched the whole entire show there, right?
SmackDown?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What did you think about the whole story with like Jay, Heyman, and like pretty much everyone is just shitting on Jay for pretty much having like zero balls now for just.
I mean, I love it. It makes sense. Like you had Owens talk to him backstage, you had catering, and he's like, acting tough, but like there's that reservation. You can tell, and obviously you saw it when he asked when Heyman came up, shut the interview down, and said you got to ask Roman permission.
Kayla, she was going in on him. I was like, Jesus Christ!
No, she give no ifs.
I was like, oh, shit, there, guys, you better be careful. You might actually give a freaking announcer a like personality here. It's just like because honestly, outside of like Charlie and before her Renee Young, I mean, Jesus, like these girls would just like be.
I think
robot.
I think Kayla has done more because she's host more. She does stuff. She's on the bump. She's on Talking Smack.
She's
and
pretty much,
she's done other stuff.
she's pretty much in that. She's pretty much in that Renee
Yeah,
Young
she's the
role now. Yeah, she's
she's the
kind of
main she's the main one of SmackDown. She was in that. I mean, like she's done like evolved in the stuff with when it was that Braun and
right.
Miz and that with the slime. Like she's done like she's been involved in storylines. You know how little, but she's done it. Not like other people, but she's acting like anyone would. Like kind of just like pissed off at like trying to call out Jay on his BS.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
and like he's upset because he has to do what he's doing, but he's trying to act tough. And he goes back to like Roman, and you can tell he's like still not like he's not heel. He's not fully on board, but he has to do what he has to do because of the situation. And then Paul's still like crapping his pants because of Roman.
Dude, like that is the one consistent thing about him. Like everyone is afraid of like Roman, and I freaking love it. Like just he feels just so much different than everyone else on the freaking roster. Like if I was a kid, like who wasn't as like gullible and shit, like I would probably be a little bit intimidated too. It's just like he just has that something about him where he's very he's a very believable.
They got him as the clear number one on that show.
Hell in the whole freaking company, and it ain't even close, people. Like it's just I just love the whole entire storytelling that they are doing
every week. It's great.
And by the way, so now on Team SmackDown we have it's like Corbin, Uso, who's the third guy? Oh, and Kevin Owens. And I would think that they would probably have Piggy on that team. It makes
one would think, yeah.
It makes
they got
too much sense there, right?
Yeah, I think yeah, he'll probably be added. They got time. So like that team is shaping up to be decent for SmackDown.
I mean, like I just worry about SmackDown, like just like kind of like because going and just thinking a little bit ahead here, because to me definitely the show is being carried by everything going on with Roman and like his family and that whole saga there. I'm just hoping that they try and build some other storylines. Like, can we please get Sami Zayn on TV? He hasn't been on TV now for at least at least like 3 weeks. I mean, outside of some small interviews that he has done, he hasn't.
There has to be a reason,
right? In which I'm just hoping that they kind of figure something out there, because to me he has been a very good IC champion, and I feel like that they should probably do something there.
They'll probably do something. I think they're planning. Sucks with I think they planted seeds for stuff, but I think for
Survivor Series, it just kind of,
why you can't really do anything.
No,
like that's the only bad thing with Survivor Series is that it's you versus your other counterpart champion and stuff, so also, you can't really do. I think you're going to see more stuff happen after Survivor Series.
Also, doesn't help either that they pretty much did a WWE draft a few weeks ago, and like, oh hey, we're going right into Survivor Series.
The timing's not conducive for like stuff to really get going. Besides, like it's hard, kind of hard to do because you're trying to get people on the teams and you kind of have feuds going. I think obviously once Survivor Series is done, I think things are more open, obviously, to go. So yeah, it I mean it is what it is, but like for what Sammy's doing, it's still gold
Right.
with promos.
Well, yeah, I mean, like he's
It,
easily like, I mean, I would say outside of everything going on with like Roman, Sasha, and Bailey, he's definitely third there as far as the most entertaining guys on that brand there.
yeah.
I'm hoping with the tag teams that they actually build some shit up and not just do what they pretty much did with Street Profits, and Andrade and Angel Garza on like Raw. Like, can we actually build up some feuds and not do the same exact people involved, which has been a like Vince thing for God knows how long as we know. So hopefully they get that figured out. I would assume that post Survivor Series that we're going to be seeing Bianca and Bailey more involved, which I'm very much
Probably, yeah.
which I am very much excited for. Those two could put on some amazing matches there. So yeah, SmackDown it is fun. Fortunately, cannot say that for the other branded show, Matt.
Yeah.
You were I don't know how you do it. I say this every single week. Like,
I've been doing it for how many years?
it's just, oh my god!
I can do it. I can do it a little bit more.
Just seeing these results, man. I'm just like, oh my god.
Actually, the first let's say the first hour was not terrible. I didn't hate myself because the hell happened. We opened like Orton cut a promo on Miz and Morrison, and like right when he came out, it was he tore him a new one. Like Orton went to like Morrison, like, you took your ball and left home and went to the minor leagues and destroyed. Just I forget what he destroyed Miz on.
Like Alexa,
it was great.
was this show or whatever?
No, it was Miz TV.
Oh, okay, well.
So and it was Orton.
They so overdo these whole freaking talk shows every single week. I swear, it's just like, oh like can we get any more formulaic? I mean, and that's on like both shows there. Absolutely, but
then Kofi and Woods came out. They had a promo back and forth. It was okay. Yeah, and then we had Elias versus Riddle versus Jeff Hardy, second chance qualifier. That was a decent match. Riddle gets the win.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Supposedly, I like read that supposedly one of the reasons why this was happening was because after Sheamus and like Riddle had their match a few weeks ago, that supposedly Vince, he's now in like a Riddle's camp now apparently. So so I would expect that he's going to be getting booked more better for the next few weeks here, Matt. Which it's like, okay, I kind of wish that you guys were actually doing this from the start, but better late than never, I guess, right?
Yeah. There's Stuff Ali cuts another promo backstage with Retribution. There's Ricochet versus Ali. In the match of the night, let me tell you, everybody.
I heard about that too.
It was excellent. Too bad it is what it is, but
yeah, no one
excellent. Like, if there was a crowd there, they would have that crowd would have slowly, like just grown with that, and excellent.
I mean, Ali and like Ricochet are very good in-ring wrestlers. So if you just give them time, they'll put on a really good match. Just the only problem is You need a reason to
It's
actually care.
Retribution. And I'm sorry, but Mia Yim and Retribution gear just looks
Weird.
No. She looks good. Better.
Oh yeah. And that too.
Yeah, she looks good. Drew Gulak dressed up, trying to get into the Hurt Business. This was a funny comedy, Cedric. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
Gets
yeah.
a
Speaking of comedy, hey Matt, remember when Tucker turned on Otis at Hell in a Cell?
What?
Yeah, he's now involved in the 24/7.
Yeah, I caught it weeks ago. You can just look at you can look at Tucker and just know who they see as a star. That happened.
True, but it's like damn 3 weeks. Like Jesus Christ, like it just made that whole thing utterly pointless. And now, oh brother,
you just knew they wanted to get the thing off of Otis no matter what.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, and I was watching a podcast and they were saying, well, okay, far as a Miz, it's like, okay, so he's now holds that thing. Do we really expect him to actually win a title here? Because if like you look at both champions, Roman, zero chance in hell he is losing that title until SummerSlam at the earliest. And you look at like Orton, it's
SummerSlam?
like, yeah, at the earliest for
you mean me?
For like Roman, yeah, Roman, he's be holding that title until then at the earliest, in my opinion. There and then on like Raw, you have Orton, which obviously they are like waiting on an Edge to finally come back so they can go into that, and that's gonna be leading to like Edge, I'm getting a small title run there. So it's like,
well, I mean, technically he's got he's got a year to the next Money in the Bank. He's got till July. He's got till or June or whatever, technically, with that briefcase. So he's got several months. He's got till after Mania.
Yeah, that's true. For some reason, I thought he only had until like May.
When was the pay-per-view? It was June or July or something like that, right?
It was
May.
No, it was in like May. Yep.
Okay, so he has until May. He's not going to do it now.
No, obviously, and honestly, just how poorly they have freaking booked him. It gives me zero reason to believe that they will actually pull the trigger and nor should they.
Well, they have until May to change that around.
I mean, just based on the people who they have and who people I would rather that they push, Miz is definitely not in that conversation anymore. If this was back in, say, 2013, 2014, I'm like, okay, I could see that. But now, I definitely think that they should definitely be thinking about other people being in that top spot there. So yeah, did anything else happen?
I'm going through it. We got Shayna Baszler killing Lana, and then eventually later in the night, she goes to a table again, which is hilarious.
For the 7th straight week.
It's great. Feed this story into my veins. R-Truth, the 24/7 championship switches back 8 times, 9 times, matter of 5 minutes. Oh, I'm convinced Lana is either going to be the first one eliminated Survivor Series, or she gets put through the table and she is the last remaining person.
Oh, yeah,
She's the last remaining.
Yeah.
I would put money on it right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty much and
I am going to love it for the reactions. Love it. I'm all in on it. It's like one of those bad movies that's so bad it's great. This is it. This is the bad movie. I'm going to be all in. I cannot wait. I'm going to be so annoying with it.
Well, that's already
this is weirdly the point on the show where we get to all this other stuff up to the 24/7 championship being switched 50 times. Up to everything up to this point, I was okay with.
And
then we get to AJ. He's trying to keep everybody happy on the team between Keith Lee, Riddle, Sheamus, and Strowman.
By the way, Matt, why is it every single year that there always has to be some sort of like friction, like within the Survivor Series teams? I swear,
that's not funny. That's not fun TV, John.
It's just like, can we just get 1 year where there's not internal friction? Is it asking that much? But Vince is like, no, pal, there's gotta be internal friction. So it's just. But this whole thing though, it was just like Sheamus.
It turned into Riddle and Lee versus Sheamus and Strowman.
Yeah, super creative there, guys.
I think I fast forwarded part through this. Not gonna lie.
I don't blame you. It probably sucked.
I don't know if the match sucked. I just didn't.
It's just like, well. And that is the biggest problem about the show, man. There are no incentives. Like, it's like, okay, one team wins, like you win nothing. Bragging rights. Oh yeah, bragging rights. Because who gives a shit about that? It's just like you couldn't say, hey, if your team wins, you get a future title shot before the end of 2020, or you get a certain spot in the 2020 Royal Rumble, something. No. Okay, cool. Sure.
We had Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross backstage. Alexa is hitting on all cylinders. Like, nothing with these two. I hate those two being the Fiend and Alexa Bliss.
For now.
Stop being negative.
Hey, I am right, because anything that goes over there, it's only a matter of time before it
dies.
Yes, before
it hasn't yet.
That's why I said. For now,
it's not going to, John. It's the Roman Reigns of SmackDown. Can't do no wrong, maybe.
How dare you compare these imbeciles to our tribal chief? Now,
did you just call the Fiend and Alexa Bliss imbeciles? Oh no.
Yes, compared to our tribal chief, they are beneath our tribal chief. That's right. I said it.
Let him in.
No.
Knock.
Shut the door.
And Bray's face. Oh. Titus O'Neil versus Lashley.
Why is Titus involved?
Because he tried to join the last week and they beat him up, so he's coming out. That was probably like the best. There was a promo before the match. It was probably the best Titus promo I've seen. Sheamus is still trying to get Drew to be on the team. In the background, there was one of Wyatt's puppets, literally throughout the whole backstage thing. We had Asuka versus Nia Jax.
And isn't this when Lana eventually goes through the table?
Yes.
I thought so.
I was happy. And then we had the fatal 7-way for the WWE 24/7 title. It lasted like a minute, and then there was how many freaking title changes?
Too many.
Then we had Ali versus Ricochet. Highlight. Go back and watch it if you haven't, folks. Awesome match. What the hell was that?
Main event.
Randy Orton, Miz, and John Morrison versus Drew McIntyre and the New Day. Faces get the win.
And isn't McIntyre and Orton for the title next week?
Yes.
Yeah. I was even tell you, I was like, I'm low key hoping that Orton drops it here because I really want to see Reigns versus McIntyre. I think that would be pretty.
Yeah,
good.
it'd be nice, but who I don't want that to happen. And I tell you why. Who wins? Who loses? You don't want both of them to lose, and you don't want to end that damn show with shenanigans. I as much as I do want to see it, I don't want to see it because who you're not going to have Roman lose.
No.
You're not going to have Drew lose clean. And do you want to end that show and some shenanigans? Unless the shenanigans are like Cole shenanigans, but
there's 0% chance of
I don't want to see that yet. Make me wait. I'd rather wait than have that on a match that really doesn't matter.
No, for sure.
That's my opinion.
And
I agree. I want to see it, but I because I think on Raw that title match ends in shenanigans.
For sure. All right, so that was Raw, and now we're going to move on to AEW Dynamite.
Peace.
This was obviously AEW's first show off of Full Gear, which I thought was a pretty good pay-per-view. A pretty solid show all in all. I mean, nowhere near perfect, obviously, but
but there was
some pretty good things.
I thought, and this is coming because obviously I fast forward through stuff, but I thought at least the first hour flew by. Show kind of flew by, but then again, honestly, fast forward.
Oh no! Honestly, man, like it was like 9:30 before I even. I was like, holy shit, this show flew by. But yeah, so we started off the show with, I'm trying to remember,
Cage and Seidel.
Cage versus Seidel, and obviously we had a small little promo by Taz. I love Taz. He's the only guy I know who can put someone over and just completely bury them in the same exact promo. That's exactly what he did with Darby Allin. It was hilarious. We had Cage versus Seidel, a pretty fun match. Cage obviously he wins here. Which it looks like to me that they're going to be gearing him for a future title shot against Darby, which I'm very interested to see how they book that, if that is the case. But I think, but it looks like for the short term that they're going to be, and they announce this for like next week's show, it's going to be Cody and Darby Allin versus Cage, and like Ricky Starks there. So, what do you think about this segment and match they met?
Taz is good as always. Match was good. I didn't have no real problems with the match. I enjoyed it, and after the after match, another Ricky Starks promo.
Keep on
Which is always good.
giving him, keep on giving him as much mic time as possible, man. Just it's like having some of these like younger guys who obviously aren't on the show in a like wrestling capacity as much, I feel is going to really help guys such as him to really get over here. So which I'm sorry, they are actually building up Ricky Ricky Starks versus Darby at some point. And not with Cager. And then was there? Yeah, there was like a like little brawl or something, right? And then
I think that was after.
Okay.
That was later.
Okay.
That was in I think in the next segment. I think,
all right,
if I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
because it was after Cody's promo.
That's right.
Yeah, and then I was this. So Cody cuts this promo, and then like this the new girl, like Jade Cargill or whatever her name is, comes up and starts cutting. Did this seem like random to you?
It did.
Because
But
it like make no sense.
it was just weird how they did this. I mean, like I'll be perfectly honest. I wasn't a big fan of this. At the same time, though, it's like, well, they need to try and build some other
Yeah,
woman up here. But at the same time, that promo, but by her was not good. It was just like
people were like, I don't know if ever was interpreting Twitter wrong, but it seemed like people were liked it, and I watched. I went,
yeah,
no.
like there were certain aspects that they liked, but it was just I
totally like missed. I know Cody is called himself like the giant killer and stuff because he took down Lance and how's he take down Brody Lee?
Brody Lee, yeah, Brody Lee,
yeah, and so I was just like, why is she upset? Like who, why? Like the connection to Shaq.
Yeah,
like to me, I like, why Shaq? Like, yeah, you get a star.
I think we know why, because as like Shaq, he is on the NBA TNT coverage.
Yeah.
They want to try and feature Dynamite more. So I
understand the reason,
but yeah, it's just Shaq in any sort of like wrestling capacity. Just I'm like a hard pass. For me,
what is fine with Shaq is like if he was in the Battle Royal when we had WrestleMania, like stuff like that. When you don't have to like put on a match, that's fine. Like, or like over the top stuff, that's fine. Like you don't really have to do much. Like,
I got the sense though too. He's probably is going to be involved in like a tag match, because obviously I can't see him being in like a singles here.
No.
But I will say though, with this segment, this was probably Brandy Rhodes' best performance in quite some time.
Can I? 49ers for life. Yeah, agrees with us. I don't get why Shaq was introduced this way. I agree. Like it just seemed weird, and it was like, oh, how dare you speak about giant killers? I have a giant. His name is Shaq.
Just like so Matt, that's on Eric there.
Oh, it's Eric. I don't know. It didn't say Eric, so I'm stupid. This is Eric.
It's like definitely him.
Yeah. Well, now it'll make sense. 49ers. Yeah. But can I say something? And can I preface this by saying I don't mean this disparagingly, but
no. No,
but
fuck you.
this was. Oh, I'm gonna get so much hate. This is gonna come off so mean, but like this was like, oh, the blackest Brandy has ever been. Like
honestly, that
I was like, oh.
Honestly, that was the
And
only.
I say that
thing.
in like the nicest way possible. Like,
I mean, that was honestly
the attitude of Brandy came off.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, she's the only one who really came off on semi good there. But yeah, not a big fan of having Shaq involved here. But you know, it is what
I get why, but it just
yeah. Well, they involved that, and then for some reason we have Cage just come out and just level Cody, and then eventually Darby comes down, and then like Will Hobbs eventually shows up. It just
I like how someone in production truck knew. I like how someone in production truck knew Darby was walking down and he's like, play his music. He's walking down.
And WWE does that shit all of the freaking time, and it annoys me. Yeah, it just comes off so.
Not even from the crowd, because nobody's in the crowd. But even we don't need the music. Just run out.
It just comes off very very unnatural. Like I recall an episode of like NXT where Rhea, yeah, when she was coming up and doing her like whole thing, it's like, go make the fucking scene. Right? It's just like
in real life, I'm not gonna stop and wait. I'm like, okay, you're doing your thing up there. I'm gonna beat up the person a little bit more until you decide to run down. But I think I even saw on Twitter, I think somebody said, "Why is Darby's music playing?"
Right. Yeah. It made zero sense. It just
run out. Things like that it's a little things when you think about it, piss you off because it makes sense.
Hey, when we have been like seeing wrestling as long as like we have, Matt, like small things like that.
Yes,
it's
common sense
today. Yeah,
it's the real life things that make no sense. That's funny. Sure. Then we get to there was a backstage promo with Moxley with our boy Marvez.
Which by the way, it is now official, Matt. We on December 2nd, Moxley versus Kenny for the AEW Championship. Which this I think is gonna be probably their like biggest TV match ever. This, I think, if there was a time to do commercial free here, this would definitely be the time here.
If not, the picture is going to be crazy. JR is going to lose his mind.
JR is freaking picture in picture, man. Like he loses his freaking mind every single time that thing comes on there.
Look at that picture in picture. Don't. It's going to be great. It's going to be the best picture in picture you've ever seen in your life. So many pictures.
Okay, there, Alec Baldwin.
I'm not Alec. He's terrible.
He's like that.
He does me terribly. I've never seen anybody do a terrible me ever. It's wrong. But
anyways,
so bad. Anyways,
Kenny versus Mox. Do you just like thinking about that now, do you think we get a title change, or do you expect shenanigans and that they're gonna stretch this out to eventually like Revolution?
I say a change.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling too, because now Moxley, he would have been champion.
How are you going to do the February?
Right.
What the hell are you going to do?
I don't know, and that's like in 3 months right there. Between then and now, because you could probably do a like rematch on that show if you really want to. But I definitely feel they're definitely setting up Hangman versus Kenny for
it's time to move on from Moxley.
Yep. It was a pretty solid title reign. Yeah.
Eric says that, and he also says the Elite is becoming very arrogant.
Well, I mean, I would rather, yeah. I mean, I completely agree. It's just
a good or a bad thing.
Well, I mean, hell, like, guys like Hogan, Austin, all Rock, all of them, they were arrogant. So I mean, I would rather that be the case. But I mean, I definitely see there being a like new champion. I definitely feel 2021 with like Kenny, obviously a Matt and like Nick as the tag champs. I mean, like in the only other title with the TNT title, it isn't held by someone who wasn't in that group there. I mean, I could very much see a Hangman Page being a TNT champion at some point as well. So we're definitely going to be seeing more of a elite influence in 2021 there because that has been a criticism.
Yes.
Because that's been sort of, or like one of the criticisms about the company is like, hey, are we gonna like start to push the elite a little bit more? Which I think it's probably where things are going to be going as we go into 2021 there.
Yeah, so we go into it's a bunkhouse match between the Natural Nightmares, QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes versus the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny, with the Bunny, also known as Airbnb.
Was
Bad Bat Beyond.
This was fun. I mean, like hell, man. Blade, he definitely lived up to his name here. That's for sure. Holy shit, he had that crimson mask going there. Just a crazy film match, which it was a lot better than I expected. That's for sure. But yeah, so obviously Dustin and QT win. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit surprised just because we need some more heel tag teams for the Bucks, and probably not having putting these guys over. I was just a little bit surprised by that, but a very good match. I felt here.
It was then we get to the induction of MGF into the inner circle. Jericho comes out, says some words, brings out the members with Sammy, and they look confused. But it brings MGF out. Says since he's been in the industry for 5 long years, he was given a $1 million loan from his dad so he can make it work.
Only $1 million, man. How can he survive on that there? Jesus.
I don't know. The struggle is real. The struggle bus. That's what he wrote in on.
And then he parodied Drake one of like
read a poem. I don't know who Drake is, John. He wrote it. Damn it, jerks!
Like, right. Freaking Ortiz was so pissed. He was like, "Man, Drake." Just
Drake? What's his one name? What is this? A Vince McMahon creation?
Yeah. I mean, hey,
nobody named Drake can write that masterpiece of poetry. Damn it! I had tears in my eyes. I felt things art. I haven't felt before. That's what she said.
It was art. Yeah, just but then on top of that freaking like masterpiece thing, he also gives every single person in the inner circle tickets to go into Vegas, man. Now, like that is a true leader right there. Wouldn't you say that, man?
Yeah, that's I was felt inspired by that. He also celebrated Jericho's birthday, and they dropped balloons, but the tropical storm and the wind said "screw you," and they fell and immediately went off the other way. Nothing appeared on TV. The hurricane, the tropical storm no-selled the birthday.
Yeah, fucking bastards. But yeah, that was
this was I appreciated this. And I gave it a hard time in all seriousness, leading up to it. But this was short and sweet and to the point, and didn't overstay his welcome. Which MJF was appreciated.
MJF, he just killed it here. Like he just, if we're gonna be getting this consistently, I'm fine with this. I'm very interested to see how this whole thing is going to be going down with them in like Vegas. I want to see if they're actually going into Vegas or just doing something completely different. Very interested to see how that plays off, and I'm also very interested to see how this whole story eventually goes off. You're like, where does this eventually go, sort of thing. So definitely, it definitely has my attention right now for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I could get into. I don't know if they can safely get into Nevada. I don't know how that works, and then come back.
Yeah.
No, that's going to be a crudely constructed Vegas. One would think. I don't know. We'll see.
They'll make it work. They'll make it work, pal.
Sure. Then we got interview with the Young Bucks and the greatest actor alive, Alex Marvez.
Captain
talk about
Charisma. Captain Charisma 1 would say.
Yes. He asked the champions what's next. Says winning the titles biggest accomplishment of their career. Think rematch is possible with FTR. They apologize for kicking Marvez. They say they have a match with Top Flight next week. I don't know who they are, but
yeah, they are a like newly signed team to the company. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we had Shawn Spears versus Scorpio Sky, and this is when I let John crap on it.
Yeah, like this sucked. Like just anything involving Shawn Spears, I just want him to go away. Oh, and speaking of Shawn Spears, apparently Cody said on a recent podcast that supposedly Tony Khan and like Moxley chewed him out. I'm looking at Shawn Spears. That is, chewed him out after he like hit Cody with that like steel chair on top of his head, and he was bleeding profusely from last year. I'm not sure it.
Yeah, I remember.
You recall that? Yeah. Which I'm like, yeah, he definitely deserved it. That's for sure. It's just I just don't want this man on TV, period. And why they had to have Scorpio Sky lose, I don't know, but it was what it was. Moving on.
Yeah. Thasha tries to talk with Kenny, but he walks off, and then we have Alex Marvez running after Omega. That was funny. Omega cuts a promo about obviously his match against Moxley. He says everybody was whispering where's the cleaner, but he says he's proven in the tournament that it never really left. And he's ready to resume that the leader, the top spot in the company. Then we got
and also too bad he also like mentioned one important thing. If you recall, from their match last year, that was a unsanctioned match, and Kenny threw that in there. So I thought that was a pretty good continuity part of their story.
It was a nice touch. I think Eric, I think this is for Jericho and MGF as long as they don't sing.
Yeah, I don't bank on that happening anytime soon. But then
Chris Jericho is going to wear one of those Vegas show uniforms, or somebody is, and they're going to do a dance. No, it's going to be Sammy.
Yeah.
They're going to be Sammy dressed up.
They are gonna put a like a Mike Tyson tattoo on his face when he's completely passed out somewhere.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Sammy's gonna marry a stripper.
Yep.
Then we got Ty Conti with Anna Jay versus Red Velvet Cake. I'm just Red Velvet with Brandy. Red Velvet Cake is my name.
Yeah, definitely these girls are pretty green here. I mean, Taya, she's definitely improved, but
I was more impressed with Red Velvet and Ty or Tay, whatever they are telling her. The one thing that stuck out for me with Conti, and I kind of look for this for people, is like when they get like Irish whipped in a corner or ropes, do you run into it somewhat forcefully, or do you run to it like flowers, like you're running through a field of daisies?
Yeah.
And like that stuff, like when I see that, I'm just like it sticks out to me. And there was one time she got Irish whipped in the corner, and like there's like no force behind it, and she ran, and like there's no way that how it happened that she ran and like jumped into the corner. I went, what?
Yeah, it's just like simple things like that. They just need some girls who are just TV ready, and they have too many of them who
little
just
things that like I was like, okay, no, she's green, which is fine, but I don't know. And Tay Conti gets the win, refusing to use the chair that Anna Jay wanted her to use. So there's that old story there. What have we here? Another Morvez interview with the Inner Circle. Sammy shows up, says he got MGF's email to go to the beach, and MGF says no, there was a second email. Everybody else
during a like tropical storm too. He said, "Oh yeah, during a tropical storm, let's them go on the beach there."
Yeah, there's announced for next week. Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabian, Burn It with Fire, Inner Circle in Vegas, Young Bucks versus Top Flight, and Cody and Darby Allin versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also and this as obviously this was later revealed, Pac, he's gonna be having his first match back, and I believe that's against Blade. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So,
way to spoil the ending, John. No, I'm kidding. You got to scream spoiler alerts. No. Then we get
your fault if like you haven't seen it yet. Sorry, not sorry.
Hey, fair enough. Then we get Ray Phoenix versus Penta, whatever your name is this week. 0. I have nothing. I didn't have any good funny things to say there, so I just went for that. With Eddie Kingston on commentary, they need better masks because they rip easy. I don't know. I thought it was good, but I felt like their first match was better.
It was way better. I think they were trying to. I think here they were trying to like tell more of a like story here with them being a little bit more vicious to each other, because as like you saw at the ending here, where Eddie Kingston is kind of trying to like shove Phoenix aside here. I definitely feel that this is going. I definitely feel that this is going to eventually turn to a point where Penta and Phoenix are going to be getting back with like Pac, and that there's gonna be a little bit of a like feud with them versus Eddie Kingston and Airbnb.
I don't know who Rusev is, Eric. Who is this Rusev you speak?
Yep. Like he's dead.
He's dead. No, but I don't know what they're. I don't.
I'm honestly like I don't think they actually have any sort of plan. And to like they have so many people now. It's like they don't have enough TV to like feature everyone. And like
when the hell is what's his crap and Penelope Ford getting married? Well, wasn't that supposed to like happen?
No, they never actually announced.
Like you're the best man. I wouldn't like nothing is.
They have absolutely have butchered his whole whatever that they were playing. It's just like I don't know what they are doing there. I mean, definitely, I feel with this company, they definitely need a second show for things such as like this here, just because it's hard to feature everyone every single week. And definitely, I feel like between like him, you definitely throw in AEW's women's division has really suffered because of that as well. It's just there is not enough time. Which
show to get the first show right.
Yeah, first show's fine. First show's fine. It's just like there isn't any
more time. I don't want more time. I just need a better idea for Miro. The whole
I mean, I'm not disagreeing there.
You don't have to show everybody each week. It's not like you have to build a pay-per-view month after month.
No, I don't know.
And then obviously at the end, well, Penta, what's your name? 0, 1, 2, 3 wins via pinfall. I'm glad that was the package power driver on the apron, followed by
another
the other move package in the ring was the finish. I sat there because kicks out, I'm gonna scream.
I wasn't expecting that either. So obviously that happens, and like Pac, he comes back there. So now we're gonna be getting so this was the first time he has appeared on like physically on Dynamite since like March. So I'm really glad to see him back for sure. Interested to see where this thing is going to go between him versus Eddie Kingston. Just we'll see how that goes, but a pretty solid Dynamite. And we'll see how next week's show is going. And now we're gonna move on to some NXT talk, Matt. So what were your overall thoughts on
you're just a nerd with a Mickey Mouse shirt on, and then Eric Tony Khan thinks Pac coming back changes the landscape of wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely
a lot of
feel like
that.
yeah, like that was a Dixie Carter like announcement where it just completely oversold it. Just like
I
it's not the first
thought, yeah, when he was coming
like
back, I thought the Shaq thing was the big news. Not gonna
yeah,
lie.
well, and people were getting so mad and saying, "Oh, like Tony Khan, he's a piece of shit and everything." I was like, "Yeah," because clearly, no other wrestling fighting promoter has oversold shit. Hell, at the last Habib fight, Dana was saying, like Habib versus Gaethje is going to be like way bigger than like Connor versus Habib. So it's just like it's a promoter thing, you know. It's just I wish that he would have worded that differently, but it's like if it's just going to like be like Pac, you probably shouldn't have said that. But and now as of right now, he was like trolling the internet about that because he probably saw how many people were getting annoyed by that. So oh well, you know. So
Yeah,
yeah, man,
NXT.
NXT. What do you think?
We opened with Johnny Gargano, one of the 3 title matches of the night. He's set to defend his North American Championship. He's now a big fan of Will's leading into it. He has a will of his own with several names of wrestlers on the show that defend his championship. They did mention the curse that he's going to win. He's not going to lose his first defense. And they spin the wheel. They got the duct tape, the name of Leon Ruff in it, and it spins, obviously fixed, and it kind of lands on him by choice. He's forced to land on Leon Ruff. So they have a match between him and Leon Ruff for the North American Championship. Eventually Priest is out there, watching Gargano. Kind of distracts Gargano.
Honestly, there, yeah.
Ruff gets the I think the roll up for the win, and the biggest upset in the history of life happened. And Leon Ruff is North American champion.
Like when I first heard about this, I was like, no. I even texted you. I was like, did they seriously take the title off of him? And you were like, yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bob. It was great.
I'm so torn on this because at least there was some sort of story behind this, and it just wasn't done for zero reason. But Jesus Christ, man, it's just like, what are we doing with Johnny here too? At the same time, it just, man, this I don't know how I felt, but man, seeing Damien just like completely trolling Johnny throughout this whole thing was absolutely freaking gold, and I freaking love that there.
Even backstage, Leon Ruff comes back. Damon's like, he's gonna come back and be pissed. Here's the keys to the car. Go and drive.
Man, he is so freaking cool, man. Like Damian Priest just has that cool, badass character, and he portrays it.
I'm just happy they showed Johnny be pissed. Arguing backstage. There was some comedy in there because it didn't count whose idea was this, and Damien's just there like, it was your idea, dumbass.
he was like, hey,
him so hard.
You freaking booked the match, you ass clown. I threw in ass clown.
I hate wheels.
Chair wheels.
Chair wheels, yes. Wheel of wheels. I don't know. Then we get the second title match of the night. We got Santos Escobar versus Jake Ellis for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. With Escobar, after a tough Tough matchup, a good matchup between these two. Um,
Mhm.
very enjoyable. Escobar, you can say, slides on by, and
Mhm.
he looked scary at the end, like son of a bitch. He was really good. So even at that little look, the worrisome look on Escobar, puts over Jake, um, in a way, in a subtle way of, being, oh, this kid's kind of like got something. The champ scared or was
Yeah.
scared. A good match between the two. It had this story. Yeah, I say it every time. I love Santos Escobar. It's just got the look.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. It's just Jake. He looked good here for sure. Uh, I mean, I wasn't expecting Escobar to be
No,
he'll be dropping his style, but I do like that they're trying to and actually building up other contenders outside of Swerve Scott. So like Triple H is definitely doing his best here to try and build um other guys, but also at the same time it also really helps that we have a pretty strong champion too. That's a very good way to try and build up this year. So yep, I can't complain about that there.
um, then we had Shotzi, the pre-recorded promo for Shotzi talking about Candace destroying her tank. I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, so like definitely for this year, Matt. Up until until she mentioned her like family, I was like, okay, why is this such a big freaking deal? And then she brought that up. I'm like, okay, okay, I can buy
I
that.
think they mentioned that last week.
Yeah,
Commentary mentioned that
I must
last
have missed
week
that.
before that.
Okay, yeah,
I think
I
did I
must have
say that
missed
last
that
time?
then. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
heard that, so they said it on purpose leading up to that.
Okay,
Um,
which I was
so
like,
yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
Um, well, we had three people, but there must have been AEW marks. They all left. Damn it. Um, I kid if you're watching this later. But I'm not. Then we get my girl, uh, Raquel Gonzalez out. Um, supposed to face Xia Li, but Boa comes down, says Lee's not here. They can't have a match, and he apologizes. Then Raquel uh, proceeds
Just
to beat the holy hell out of Boa. Um, and then she leaves, and then creepy music comes out, and Mr. Miyagi, um, I don't know who, that's obviously the joke, comes out, hands a letter to Boa, and puts some type of um, ash or black ash
yeah,
or something on his hand that draws a symbol. Boa looks like
like
distraught, I guess. And Mr. Miyagi, I'm calling him Mr. Miyagi until there's a name. I
yeah,
don't. That's not. And walks off. So I don't know. I'm interested to see where this is going with Xia Li. There's adding something Chinese culture stuff happening here.
yeah. I mean, I'm definitely intrigued to see where this goes.
It's
Just
another
because
step to women here.
yeah,
It's
well,
another.
and it's something different too because honestly, we've never. I mean, even on the main roster, haven't really seen anything like this before.
Yeah, it's
So you know,
starting to play out. It's
yeah,
something week to week,
yeah, yeah,
but Raquel just a freaking machine, man. Like
yeah.
freaking machine. Like I felt like I stood next to her, I'd be peeing my pants. Just I felt like
She's
just
freaking
kicked my
jacked.
ass, your ass, all the ass.
Yeah,
Like I felt like if I pissed her off, if I oh I can go on and on. Um we got Mackenzie Mitchell is interviewing Austin Gray, who attacked Timothy Thatcher last week, I believe. And this ended quickly because Timothy Thatcher attacked him. And they're fighting backstage. Thatcher, I think, tosses Gray into the drawing that Dexter Lumis did of the zombie ref chasing Cameron Grimes. And then, Dexter Lumis appears, pissed off. And they're separated and leads to a match between the two later in the night.
Yeah, definitely Dexter is probably one of the more interesting things I see on the show every single week. Just like this man doesn't even have to have to talk. Like just by giving a stare or a glare, he says more there than he can in a 5 or 10-minute segment.
It seems like he warmed up to him a little bit since weeks ago.
I have. It's just because I can appreciate what they're trying to actually do with him, and he completely stands out from everyone else on the show, which is obviously a good thing.
Yeah. Can you imagine what would be like if him versus the Fiend?
Right. Yeah.
That would be
interesting and very creepy at the same point there. So.
You had, I can see a scenario that with how Fiend's puppets creep on everybody. You can have a segment of, I don't know, Alexa Bliss getting interviewed for something, talking about it, and you just in the background see Dexter peeking up from behind something, peeking behind a thing, whatever. So it would work, and I can see you have like both of them in the ring and Dexter no selling the Fiend. Yep. Oh, see, now I want that now.
Yep, that's why. That was why I was saying. I was like, that would be some pretty intriguing TV.
If done right, yeah, it would.
If I done right, which is a completely different conversation.
On SmackDown,
right? So yeah, yep.
Then we get what I call her Thick Tony Storm versus Candice LeRae with let me scroll down. Candice wins, but with I think was it no, it didn't happen.
No, I think she had her
on the rope.
Feet,
I thought
her feet on the ropes
came out, but that was after. Yeah. So she cheated to win. It wasn't really clean, so that's fine. Tony's Tony. It's fine. Like Candice will win, and she cheated. She's a heel. It's fine. Then the Scream lady attacks.
And to
Tony and Shotzi comes out, beats her up, and then to the surprise of no one, unless you're 5, the Scream is revealed to be Indy Hartwell.
Yeah,
which
it's definitely a good spot for her.
Building people up, like they're doing something. There's little stories underneath the stories. There's multiple women storylines going here, so that's the good thing they can taunt or flaunt. Wrong phrase. Then we get Dexter Lumis versus Timothy Thatcher.
This was a pretty long match. I felt I did not expect this to go on as long as it did there.
Yeah, but Cameron Grimes appears. Your boy was distracted enough that leads Thatcher to get the win.
I found someone who I hate more than Sean Spears. Congratulations.
Yes, I love it. I'm kind of in a way happy Thatcher got the win, distraction because he needs a win more so than Loomis.
Right.
It was getting to the point you talk all the crap but not win. So winning heelish way, fine. Yeah, obviously gets the win, and Dexter can. It's just distraction. Dexter loses. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. Wow. What happened after the match? Grimes puts they're fighting Grimes and Loomis, and he puts a burlap sack over Loomis so Grimes can't see his face. And he beats him up. If this doesn't lead to a blindfold match, I don't know what will. I can already see it. Blindfold match. It's the obvious telltale sign.
That's a terrible idea. It's an awful idea. I've seen one other match, and even the great Jake Roberts and Rick Rude.
I saw it, and I'm like, first thing I saw is blindfold match coming.
Just like no, please no.
Yes, it's happening.
No. Oh, God, I hope not. But
I like Cameron Grimes, but I don't like that he's freaking afraid of. I get he put the sack on his face.
Can't believe you just said that.
Oh, Christ. You know what I'm
God fucking damn you. How old are you now?
It was a burlap sack, and it was on Loomis's face. You dirty mind, you.
You were the one squealing like a freaking pig right there.
I don't know what pigs you heard. They don't sound like that. And I thought of I was just happy to be here. I read it. I thought of a joke, John. That's what it was.
We can see why you are not a comedian there, Mr. Matt.
Maybe you can't see it why I'm not a comedian. Maybe you have the sack on your face. The sack is in the way, John. Remove the sack.
Anyways, moving on to the main event, which I believe we had
slow down.
On like a video package.
With a date to go to?
No, it just
moving on.
Moving on. EO and
yeah, let's move on. Okay. EO and Rhea Ripley video package. Always a good video packages here.
And they also announced for next week EO versus Rhea for the NXT Women's Championship. Do we see a new champion here, Matt?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, because I think they're only 2 or 3 weeks away from the next takeover.
Yeah,
so that I'll be like, I think they'll probably say for them.
I don't think so.
Yep.
Could it happen? Yeah, not likely. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have main event time. We have the tag team champions, Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, defend against the Breezango. And we got our boy Pat McAfee, kind of the promo before. They're so good.
I cannot wait to see the eventual confrontation between them and the Undisputed Era. That's obviously that is what we are going to. And by God, if we do not get a freaking War Games match, I'm going to be pissed because there's ever a time to do a freaking War Games match that isn't just like thrown together here. It's this one here. Because there's an obvious forming group here. Forming group here. True, but like large, they're just kind of like thrown together. It's like, okay, we're having this sort of personal rivalry with like separate people, but this is all like, in like one here part of like one angle. So yeah, I'm hoping that is where they are going. But what did you think about the title match?
I liked it. We had, I think, Drake Maverick come out,
Mhm.
which makes sense after they basically killed his partner. So we have that
Yeah.
tag team in. McAfee distracts the ref. Pete Dunne takes out Breeze to prevent a tag. And they hit a double team move, Birch and Lorcan, and they retain. Good match. After the match, McAfee and associates celebrate. Drake goes to the top to attack. He leaps off, attacks them. Then they beat him up. He gets slammed, I think, on the announce table by Pete Dunne. Fandango flies, starts attacking, and they destroy him. And so they stand tall at the end with all of them. Fandango, Brizongo, Maverick kind of destroyed. This group has like revitalized the tag team division.
Yep, single-handedly,
in terms of importance, single-handedly in like 3 weeks.
Well, it helps.
Main invented, and there's stuff going on.
Well, it helps
ahead.
when you actually have like probably your most important storyline is focused around that there. So, I mean, it's hopefully now they'll be able to actually build some other teams, which hell we have been craving for, asking for pretty much for the last 8 or 10 months here. So we're finally getting there now, and I gotta think as I said, we'll probably see Undisputed Era sometime in the next week or two here, and we'll probably get some sort of So that was NXT, a pretty good show. Definitely Pat and like his group is really helping out this show, and hopefully we'll start to see what the card is going to eventually look like for Takeover. Kind of surprised that we haven't had anything official yet for that show yet, but I'm sure that will come together here really soon.
I think that's pretty much it. We covered SmackDown from last week, Raw, and AEW and NXT. Obviously, we're probably the next show will probably be on the normal time of
Friday.
Next week, Friday after SmackDown. And talk about those week shows then. So yeah, look that out. Our podcast drops Saturday. I was going to say tomorrow, but it's not Friday. Saturday at 3:15. Thanks, YouTube. I'll keep saying that all the time. I can't choose 3 for whatever reason. So that we talk about Alex Trebek, the Mandalorian, in this past week 9 of NFL football. So John doesn't have anything else to add.
Nope.
Well, he's good. Obviously, that's John. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you